Welcome back to the KEMPIRE Daily YouTube channel, where we talk about the hottest topics in music, entertainment, and reality TV. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we go live or when we upload. In today's video, I wanted to share something a little different. As I said to you before, we talk about some of the hottest topics in music and entertainment. So I wanted to talk about the United States versus Billie Holiday. As you may know, Andra Day won for Best Actress at the Golden Globes. It was the very first time in 35 years. The last person to win this was Whoopi Goldberg for The Color Purple. Can you believe that? Which Whoopi would go on to lose the Oscar. And usually the Golden Globes is a great predictor for the Oscars. And if you watched Andra Day's performance in the United States versus Billie Holiday, there's no way in my mind that she should not have that award. This was her very first time acting. As you know, she's known for her song Rise Up. I was always hoping like, no, this cannot be a one-hit wonder. She's such a mega talented singer. And now she is a mega talented actress. She went all the way. During watching this episode, Hulu has a special that Oprah interviews Lee Daniels and the actors from United States versus Billie Holiday, including the screenwriter. And they shared a lot of really great information about developing this movie. And I think it's worth the watch if you've watched the United States versus Billie Holiday. When I first posted about this movie and the trailer for it, everyone in the comments were dogging it. They were saying there's no way they can beat Diana Ross's version. And I too remember Diana Ross's version. And I always thought of Billie Holiday. Wow. Like, you know, I didn't grow up with Billie Holiday, obviously. When I saw the Diana Ross movie, Lady Sings the Blues, I was just like, oh my God, what a tragic life this woman had. Here's the difference with the United States versus Billie Holiday. They add an element to the story that we didn't get. Her life wasn't as tragic as we thought. Her life, although it had tragic moments, she really used her life through her gift of song as a march for civil rights, a march for human dignity, a march for Black lives before we were marching literally for Black Lives Matter. And I get why this movie is so important right now, especially after everything during this pandemic with the social injustices. This was perfect timing, but it's also a reminder. And I think I know a lot of Black people and a lot of people of color are going to watch this movie. But I urge, if you are someone white, if you are someone American, I mean, everyone should watch this movie. But specifically, if you are trying to gain an understanding of why people say that there is still racism, it's ingrained in the history of this country, and we have ignored it. And when I say we, the government has ignored it. The people of America have ignored it. This woman, Billie Holiday, and I'll tell you this, and I'll be honest, because I loved that during Lee Daniels' interview, he said he didn't really understand the meaning of Strange Fruit either. And I'm sure a lot of people didn't understand the meaning of what that song was saying. And Andra Day said something really beautiful during her interview. She was saying, you know, this song isn't meant to be pretty. It's not meant to be enjoyed. It was literally letting you know. It was sort of like a protest song in regards to the lynchings that were happening here in America. And I love the fact they add little factoids to the movie. And you see, and you may have seen this in the news, that they brought the anti-lynching law to the Senate, and it still hasn't passed. In 2021, they have not come together as politicians to say, let's pass this anti-lynching law right now. They have not. And people still sit here and say that there's no racism in America. And honestly, and I'm sure there's a lot of Black people like me as well that may live in cities like New York, where you don't necessarily experience the same amount of racism. We still experience racism. Don't get twisted. Eric Garner died only a few feet away from where I am right now. So I'm not saying that, but at the same time, it's probably not as prevalent as it is in other parts of America. The United States versus Billie Holiday. Look, I'm sure I've said shady things about Lee Daniels before, especially when it comes to Empire. I've always appreciated his movies. TV, not so much. But his movies have been so incredible. I want him to focus on just continuously doing movies. He did an incredible job with this movie. Were there imperfections? Look, I'm not going to do a video. Look, I'm not a movie critic. If you want a movie critic review, you know where to go. I'm just sharing my experience of watching this movie. I thought it was beautifully shot. Yeah, there were some edit things. I was like, oh, that was kind of awkward. Beautifully acted. Andra specifically. I mean, everyone that was involved. First of all, can we talk about Miss Lawrence? Miss Lawrence, I've interviewed Miss Lawrence before getting into the other acting that Miss Lawrence has done. And to see the amount of acting, I am just I was like, that's Miss Lawrence. I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with. We need something just for Miss Lawrence. Anyways, incredible acting. The chemistry between the actors was beautiful. The love scenes were necessary. The way they did the love scenes were necessary. But Andra's performance, not only did she have to sing, she said she spoke to people that were on drugs and cocaine, and she had to see how to use needles, how to use, how to use that way, how to experience that. She really did the work. She literally said that she starved herself at one point to really capture what Billie Holiday went through. And at the end of the movie, I don't know if I completely missed this or forgot this, that Billie Holiday was literally dying, and the government was so bothered by her talent, bothered by her singing that song Strange Fruit, that they kept on trying to set her up. First of all, they knew she had a drug problem, so they were not trying to help her. And they kept on trying to frame her. On her deathbed at 44 years old, on her deathbed, federal agents were trying to arrest her on her deathbed at 44. I have to say, seeing Lady Sings the Blues when I was younger, I just felt, oh man, addiction's bad. I feel really bad for Billie Holiday. She has such a sad life. Now, watching Lee Daniels' version, the United States versus Billie Holiday, I have such a different feeling about Billie Holiday. One of the people that knew Billie Holiday said that one of the things that she worried about is that people would forget her. She really was concerned that people would forget her. And I love how honest they were in the depiction of Billie Holiday in this movie, because there were levels to her. She was a star, she was talented, but she was also man hungry. And, she was that friend who you were like, she gonna leave us for this man? She gonna leave us, and just leave us here stranded on the side of the road? Look, Billie wasn't perfect, but she was incredibly talented. The entire world loved her, but she also struggled with addiction. And we were also in a country where the crackdown on drugs really wasn't the crackdown on drugs for Black Americans. If anything, they made her drug addiction even worse. I am excited to see what happens for Andra Day in her career. I cannot wait to see her win an Oscar for this movie, because I know there are a lot of talented people in Hollywood, but to see this woman, this is her first role, but she really, really, really devoted her time and effort to learning and connecting. I love what she said, that she literally cannot shake Billie Holiday's spirit off of her. Because I'm the channel. You've probably seen some of my videos. Yeah, we talk about reality TV, but we also talk about spirituality. And I honestly believe, Billie, if you hear me now, we are still talking about you decades later. Thank you for doing what you've done. Another amazing Black woman. And it's another reminder. One of the biggest things that I got from this movie was that when we say protect Black women, and that Black women are the most unprotected, I myself, look, that's a new thought for me to have in the last couple of years. And now seeing people like Billie Holiday, seeing so many Black women, people that we know and people that we don't know, be abused and treated a certain way, and spoken to a certain way or described a certain way. And look, I'm still learning. Look, the other day I learned something that I said. I was like, oh wait, let me not speak for Black women. But I've been uplifted by Black women. I was raised by a Black woman. But watching the United States versus Billie Holiday reminded me just how much America, people are intimidated, are afraid of what we call Black girl magic and what that actually means and why they're afraid of it. I said it the other day. I feel like Black women are truly superheroes to endure what they've endured and still show up and show out. And to see how, even in this movie, how they try to use Black men against Black women, this is still happening. And I'm so thankful to people like Lee Daniels and, creators and everyone involved in the movie and everyone involved in social justice that are continuously teaching us. Look, even me as a Black man, I'm learning. And I beg everyone to allow people to learn. Don't just immediately write people off or cancel them when they're learning. Have the conversations. Have the conversations on racism. Have the conversations on colorism. Have the conversations on featureism. Have the conversations on Black women not being protected, because we did not protect Billie Holiday. And what I need to see next, someone needs to make this happen. I need to see a conversation between Diana Ross and Andra Day, because I would love to hear Diana Ross's thoughts on how she portrayed Billie Holiday and what her experience was when she was preparing for Lady Sings the Blues. I know Diana has that big ego. However, that's what I want to see. I want to see that conversation, and I want to hear her experience. Does she feel like Billie Holiday still sort of is with her? Because when Andra said that, I was like, wow, that's pretty deep. And I know a lot of actors, especially when they're doing that sort of method acting, that spirit really does stay with you. Because like I've said before, I truly believe when we die, that's just a physicality situation. Our spirit, our energy is still existing. And as I said to you before, thank you, Billie Holiday, for what you did, because I'm sure because of what she did, she changed the course of history and continues to do so with the retelling of her story in the United States versus Billie Holiday. Be sure to watch it. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we go live or when we upload.